Hi, welcome to our electromagnetic theory course. In this video, I will derive boundary conditions. What are the boundary conditions? Boundary conditions are nothing but the field satisfies some conditions at the boundary. That conditions are known as boundary conditions. What is meant by boundary? Boundary is an interface that separates two different media. Up to now, we discussed the field components in case of the homogeneous medium. Homogeneous medium means what? Epsilon is same at each and every point throughout that medium. In case of the non-homogeneous medium, we can consider like this. Here, for the first medium, we have that medium is characterized by epsilon 1 and second medium is characterized by epsilon 2. Okay. For the magnetic field, this epsilon 1 can be replaced with mu 1 and epsilon 2 can be replaced with mu 2. Okay. To derive boundary conditions, we will use these Maxwell's equations, that is integral E dot dl equal to 0 and integral d dot ds equal to q enclosed. The application of Maxwell's equations is nothing but what? We have Maxwell's equations in integral form and differential form. We can't apply differential form to derive Maxwell's equations. To derive the boundary conditions, we will use Maxwell's equations in integral form only. What are the boundary conditions? Boundary conditions are nothing but the conditions derived at the boundary. What is meant by boundary? Boundary is an interface. Boundary is an interface that separates medium 1 and medium 2 like this. To derive boundary conditions, we will use these equation 1 and equation 2. Basically, these equations are helpful to derive the electric field boundary conditions. Electric field satisfies some conditions at an interface. That equations are known as the boundary conditions. To derive tangential boundary conditions, we need to use this equation 1. Okay, apply equation 1 to the closed path ABCDA as shown in above figure. In order to derive the boundary conditions, that is electric field boundary conditions, we need to use equation 1 and equation 2. We can take this as equation 3. What is equation 3? In equation 3, we decomposed electric field or electric flux density as two orthogonal components, that is tangential component and a normal component. That means what? If the electric field is like this, it has a tangential component like this and normal component like this. That is E equal to Et plus En. Similarly, D equal to Dt plus Dn. Okay, if I apply this equation 1, to this closed path, that is ABCDA, we will get what? That is integral ABCDA, that is A to B, B to C, C to D, D to A, that is E dot dl equal to 0. In order to derive the boundary conditions, we need to consider this closed path at the boundary. Means what? At this location. Basically, this delta H, that means in the diagram, for the visibility purpose only, I consider delta H as like this, but basically delta H is very small, that is tending to 0. That means what? Actually, we need to take this closed path on this boundary only. Means what? The height of, basically this is the closed path. So, we need to move like this, A to B, B to C, C to D, B to C, C to D, D to A. That means it is our boundary. For the visibility purpose, I had drawn like this. Okay. Now, this can be splitted like this. That is integral AB E dot dl. Next, integral BC E dot dl. Next, integral CD E dot dl plus integral E dot dl, that is integral dA, that is A to B, B to C, C to D, it is CD dA equal to 0. Okay. Now if you go along AB direction, that means for this integration what you have AB. So in this case we have the component, electric field component parallel to what? Interface. That means we have tangential component in the direction of AB. So that means the electric field component is uniform and this value is given by what? As it is in the first medium. What about the E? AB is covered in the, that means this part is covered equally in the first medium and second medium. Means in case of along AB we have the field component, that is E1, and this should be what? Tangential component. Okay, AB means tangential direction, so that's why it is E1t. And integral and differentiation cancel, we have length, so that length is nothing but what? Along AB we have this one, that means the length of this one is nothing but what? Delta W. E1t delta W. And next B2C, this B2C is covered equally, this B2C is covered in first medium as well as second medium. Let us fit this one to first. For this one, from this point to this point it is covered in the first medium, whereas this point to this point it is covered in the second medium. Okay, so this point to this point, okay, as it is B2C is equally covered in the first medium as well as in the second medium. So in case of the first medium, so from this point to this point we have the field component is nothing but what? E1n. E1n direction is upward, whereas our B2C direction is downward. That's why we can take field component as minus E1n. And what about the length? That is integral dl, integration differentiation cancel. From this point to this point length is what? Delta h by 2. Delta h by 2. Delta h by 2. Next, go for what? That is B2C. So from this point to this point, that is covered in the first medium, and this point to this point it is covered in the second medium. That is what? Again downward direction, but it is in the second medium. Field component in vertical direction is normal component. That is nothing but what? Our E2n. We are coming in this closed path, we are coming in downward direction, whereas our field component, that is normal component of this E2, is in upward direction. That is E2n delta h by 2. E2n delta h by 2. Okay, up to now we covered A to B, B to C. Next C to D. C to D means what? It is entirely in the second medium. What about the field component? So it is a tangential component. Horizontal means tangential component, vertical means normal component. What about the tangential component in the second medium? That is E2t. What about the direction? What about the direction? So we are moving in this direction, but field component direction is opposite to this one. That's why you have to take the minus sign. That is E2t. And what about the length? That is delta W. Integral dl means integration differentiation cancelled out. Length. What about the limits? That is C to D. That is 0 to W. 0 to delta W. That is E2t delta W. And next again D to A. So D to A, we can take this point to this point. It is covered in the second medium, whereas this point to this point it is in the first medium. Means what? From this point to this point, field component is what? A normal component, that is E2n. In upward direction, our direction, that means closed path direction also, D to A direction is also same. That's why we can take E2n. Total height is delta h, whereas in this case we need to take, it is equally covered in the second medium as well as in the first medium. That means this boundary is covered equally in the first medium as well as second medium. That can be taken as what? Delta h by 2. And what about last one? That is E1n delta h by 2. Means what? That is from this point to this point it is covered in the first medium, that is E1n, and height is what? Or length is what? From this point to this point, that is delta h by 2, that equal to what? 0. That equal to 0. Means here this one, that is this equal to 0, this one equal to 0, and this one is cancelled. Minus E1n delta h by 2 plus E2n delta h by 2 is also minus E1n delta h by 2 plus E1n delta h by 2 cancelled out. Similarly, minus E2n delta h by 2 plus E2n delta h by 2 is cancelled out. Remaining terms are nothing but what? That is E1t E1t minus E2t into delta W equal to what? 0. That is what? E1t minus E2t equal to 0. It indicates what? It implies, I will write this one like this, that is E1t minus E2t equal to 0. It implies E1t into E2t. E1t equal to E2t. Means what? The tangential components of electric field intensity are equal in both the medium. That means what? They are continuous across the boundary. There is no change in tangential components of the electric field intensity. Okay. So it is basically for dielectric medium, tangential boundary conditions for dielectric medium. So that means first medium is dielectric and second medium is also dielectric, that is dielectric 1, dielectric 2, and normal boundary conditions for dielectric. Okay, so normal boundary conditions for dielectric. That means what? Interface is first one is dielectric medium, second one is also dielectric medium. Means what? We can take this as dielectric, this as dielectric, or else we can take this as dielectric conductor and free space. Okay, so initially I consider dielectric. Later we can go for what? A dielectric conductor. Next, conductor free space. Okay, now we derived E1t minus E2t equal to 0, that is equal to what? E1 to E2t. Now we can conclude from this. Okay, I will go for here. Boundary conditions for electric field. What we have derived from this? Okay, from this I will go to here. Okay, E1t is equal to E2t means what? Tangential components of electric field are continuous across the boundary. Let us take this as equation A. So this is one of the boundary conditions, and from equation A we can write E1t can be written as d1t by epsilon 1, d2t by epsilon 2. Means what? d1t is not equal to d2t. It implies what? Tangential components of electric flux density, let us take this as equation B. Tangential components of electric flux density are discontinuous across the boundary. Means what? From this we can conclude that the tangential components of electric field intensity are continuous across the boundary. That means what? Either sides of the boundary they are equal. Tangential components of electric field intensity are equal on either sides of the boundary. So on one side it is E1t, other side it is E2t, both are equal, means they are continuous across the boundary, whereas D1t is not equal to D2t. From this we can say D1t is not equal to D22. So that means what? Tangential components of electric flux density are discontinuous across the boundary. Now we will derive this normal boundary conditions for the dielectric field. Means what? We need to derive the boundary conditions for the normal components. Okay. So in order to derive this one, we need to use equation 2. So what is equation 2? If you remember clearly, I wrote equation 1 as what? Equation 1 as what? That is integral E dot dl equal to 0. That is equation 1. And equation 2 is what? Integral d dot ds equal to q enclosed. And field component, that is E, can be decomposed into tangential and normal, and D can be decomposed into two orthogonal components, that is tangential and normal. That means these two are orthogonal, that is D1t and D1n are orthogonal components. Means that is D1 is decomposed as D1t, D1n. Now let us apply to derive these normal boundary conditions. Apply equation 2. Apply equation 2. This field box as shown in this figure, that is apply equation 2 to pill box as shown in above figure. If you apply this one, you will get what? These side surfaces becomes 0, and whereas we have the field components for the top and bottom only. So that's why we can write that is integral d dot ds, that is what? Integral d dot ds equal to 0. So it is, we need to apply for this fill box, this equation for the fill box. It is not 0, this is what? Q enclosed. Now we can write this one as d dot ds for the top, and for the bottom we can write, we have, that means for the side surfaces it becomes 0, that is integral d dot ds becomes 0 for the side surfaces. We have the contribution for the top and bottom only, so it is not 0, it is Q enclosed. Now we have what? For the top we have the field component, D1n. Okay, and integral ds becoming what? D1n for the top, and for the bottom it is top, and this one is bottom. This one is bottom. So D1n integral ds, that gives what? A surface area of delta s, a small surface area. Basically this one is, this fill box is considered at this interface. Okay, whereas delta s becoming a very small area. And next, for the second case, we have what? Field component, that is D2n. For the bottom we can take this one like this, that is plus D2n, and whereas area is what? This area is normal to this field component, that is in upward direction, and here, so that means what? It is, for this one normal is outward, for the bottom it should be downward. So that's why we can take this one as D2n delta s equal to Q. So then this can be written like this, that is D1n minus D2n Q by delta s. This means what? Charge per unit surface area, that equal to what? Rho s. So that's why we have what? D1n minus D2n equal to rho s. This is one of the boundary condition. Let us take this as equation C. Okay, if the boundary is free of charge, if boundary is free of charge, that means what? If there is no charge at the boundary, in that case rho s equal to, that is rho s equal to 0. If rho s equal to 0, equation C becomes equation C becomes d1n equal to d2n. Here this equation C states that what? If there exists a charge on the boundary, in that case the normal components of electric flux density are discontinuous. Normal components of, we can write conclusion here itself, that is, what is the conclusion? Normal components of or else first I will write that conclusion here itself. Equation C states that from equation C or else equation C states that normal components of electric flux density continuous or discontinuous. If they are equal, continuous. As they are not equal, they are electric flux density, normal components of electric flux density are discontinuous across the boundary by rho s. That is, the difference between these two is equal to what? Rho s. So that's why the normal components of electric flux density are discontinuous across the boundary by an amount of rho s. Okay. If the boundary is free of charge, that is, if rho s equal to 0, means what? If the boundary is free of charge, equation C becomes what? d1n equal to d2n. Means what? This is equation D. If boundary is free of charge, or else, right, this implies what? If boundary is free of charge, then normal components of electric flux density electric flux density are continuous across the boundary, So this equation d1n equal to d2n can be written as what? It implies in terms of E is E1n by, okay, that is like this, epsilon 1 into E1n, epsilon 2 into E2n. Means what? It says that we can conclude that normal components of electric field intensity, normal components of electric field intensity are discontinuous across the boundary. Normal components of electric flux density are discontinuous across the boundary. Simply we can conclude that, so basically tangential components are equal, that is E1t equal to E2t, and d1n minus d2n equal to rho s if the boundary is free of charge, and another one is what? d1n equal to d2n, E1t equal to E2t, d1n minus d2n if the boundary consisting of the charge, that is rho s, d1n equal to d2n if rho s equal to 0. So these are the boundary conditions. Okay. So what is the conclusion? We have normal tangential components of electric field intensity are continuous, whereas tangential components of electric flux density are discontinuous. If intensity parameters are continuous, then density parameters are discontinuous, because E1t equal to what? d1t into epsilon 1 d1t by epsilon 1, and E2t can be written as what? Like this, that is d2 by epsilon 2. That means what? They are discontinuous. And we derived normal boundary conditions for the electric flux density are nothing but what? d1n minus d2n equal to what? Rho s. Okay. So that means what? Normal components of electric flux density are discontinuous by an amount rho s. Okay, if boundary is free of charge, that means if rho s equal to 0, then d1n equal to d2n. These are the electric field boundary conditions. Now we can derive magnetic field boundary conditions, that is boundary conditions for the magnetic field. In order to derive these magnetic field boundary conditions, we need to use equation 1 as like this, that is integral h dot dl. This is one of the Maxwell's equation, that is I enclosed. Instead of integral E dot dl, you need to take what? Integral H dot dl, that is I enclosed, that is Ampere's circuit law. And another one is what? In the previous case we consider surface integral of D, here closed surface integral of B, that is B dot ds equal to 0. And we need to decompose these components, that is H as Ht plus Hn and B as Bt plus Bn. Okay. In the previous case we considered what? Integral E dot dl. Now we need to consider integral H dot dl, that equal to what? I enclosed. And in the previous case we considered integral D dot ds. Here we need to take integral B dot ds equal to 0. These are the Maxwell's equations for the magnetic field. Okay, by using these equations we can derive what? Magnetic field boundary conditions. Okay, we will derive magnetic field boundary conditions in the next video. We need to change what? Only. Okay, so boundary conditions for electric field need to be changed as what? Boundary conditions for magnetic field. And instead of integral E dot dl, we need to take what? I enclosed, here integral B dot ds. Okay, integral D dot ds should be taken as B dot ds, and H should be taken as Ht plus Hn, and B should be taken as what? Bt plus Bn. Means what? We need to decompose these field components as two orthogonal components. One is tangential component and another one is normal component. Okay, this is about the derivation of the boundary conditions for the electric field for an interface of dielectric.